Hi everybody, welcome back to Black Arrow Gaming. I am Bob, and this is my first Age of Wonders Planetfall Advanced series. I wanted to thank you all so much for your comments from last week's episode. A lot of useful information there. I really appreciate that, because I'm still kind of learning this game too as I go. So I feel like I'm really learning a lot from you guys, and that's helpful because with as many people watching my videos as they do, I want to make sure I'm giving out good information to everyone. And you guys in the comments are a great help with that. You catch my mistakes and you correct me when I'm wrong, and I appreciate that. That's very, very helpful. So thank you so much for that. I wanted to start off with comments from Sarah Feingold, Space Flash, and Vasily Nikulin. I think I pronounced that right, Vasily. I hope I did. If I'm wrong, let me know. But I actually studied Russian years ago, so I actually know the Cyrillic alphabet, how to pronounce it a little bit. But I also kind of Googled it just to be sure. But anyway, thanks to you guys for pointing out where that influence quest reward is. The reward that gives you 100% influence or plus 100% influence from completing quests for NPC factions. That is actually an Empire quest under Unity here, the Emissary. So you can see it there. Do 2 quests for an NPC faction, which I've already done 1 of 2, and achieve peace with any NPC faction. So this is one of those that you usually get kind of early, just by accident almost, which is why I couldn't remember how to do it. I guess I was thinking it was like under here somewhere, or well, I guess yeah, like in this tech tree for society, but that is not correct. So thank you for helping me out with that. I will probably pick that one up as soon as I can. It's a great quest to get, considering how often you're doing NPC quests in this game, especially if there's not really a lot of enemies around for you to be focusing on. So I will pick that one up as soon as I can get it. Also, Sarah Feingold and the one and only Jean-Luc Picard, good to have you on board, Captain, said that Deadeye does work for melee attacks. So down here, I've got my leader and his upgrades. Deadeye gives +5 more accuracy and critical hit chance. I think by default, melee accuracy is at like 90% or something like that. It's really high. So Deadeye is helpful. It may not be the best thing to get, maybe the first level of it. And I wonder if you could get your melee accuracy by default to 100. I'll check what it is in the next battle as a reminder to myself. But that could be one that might be worth picking up. There's probably better things to give a melee person because it really helps out ranged people more. But it's worth knowing that it does apply to melee attacks, so thank you for that. Also, Sarah said that unit facing direction is pretty important on defense unless you have stagger immunity. So if you're like in a battle and your unit's facing a certain direction, I'll talk about this maybe a little bit more when I actually do the battle, but like, let's say you leave the battle, your unit's facing, they're back to the enemy, but they're on defense. The unit can still be staggered, and stagger is a pretty common effect in this game, so unless they have like stagger resistance, well, I mean, so Ronald's got stagger resistance because of his boots, but he does not have stagger immunity, so anything with massive impact would be able to still stagger him, opening up, which lower his guard and opening up to flanks. Stagger's a lot in this game's a lot like Guard Breaker from Age of Wonders 3, except it also removes an action point too. So, and it's pretty common. It's a lot more common than Guard Breaker was in Age of Wonders 3. Also, Sarah pointed out that the growth. I was talking about healing in the last episode. My need for healing. The Syndicate healer is not exactly the best. Sci-Tech revitalization is nice because it does remove debuffs, but it only heals for 20 health. So I wanted to get more healers, and Sarah pointed out that the growth actually has a pretty good one. I think they're over here. The Worker Bee has a regenerative pollination. It's basically a melee ranged healing option, which is something I could get access to relatively early if I buddy up with the growth. And I plan on trying to do that because growth also has a mod that I'm going to want, regeneration spores, which I can kind of segue right into here because of a comment from Chris Lighthawk. Basically, this mod is really, really good. As you can see, it gives all adjacent, it gives the unit you give it to plus 10 health, which is nice for a worker because their health is at 30 by default. They can really use the extra. Or you can put it on any other bee. It only works on bees and plants, but let's see here. The unit releases regenerative spores, which heal it and all adjacent, friendly and biological, or cyber units for 20% of their maximum health at the start of each turn in tactical combat. So basically, it's like an area effect healing. I personally, I think Chris was suggesting putting it on the soldier bee. I'm actually going to try it on the worker bees because the worker bees have to be at melee range anyway to heal. and it kind of feels like it fits really well. The only problem is worker bees are so dang fragile, they can die easy, so you got to be really careful with them. They have armor, but that doesn't really help them because there's only very rare units that can attack flying units with a melee attack. Usually other flying units or units with some sort of jumping, clawing attack or something. I think there's some growth units that might have that, actually. But that is worth keeping in mind. I will probably try to get some worker bees with regenerative spores, because if you use them right in tactical combat, I think that could be very helpful. The only thing I wonder is whether it says regenerative spores, it works for adjacent friendly biological and cyborg units. I wonder if that counts for units below the bee. I don't know if that would work, because the bee is a flying unit, so it's technically above the units that are below it, so I don't know if that counts as adjacency. But I will give it a try, or you guys can let me know if you've already tested that yourselves. Chris Lighthawk also suggested using or micromanaging colonists a little bit more, and I didn't really talk about this in the first episode, but since this is an advanced Planetfall series now, let's talk about colonists a little bit. So we've got these guys in here. You can adjust how you want to distribute them. So for instance, I could focus them all on food and grow my city nearly twice as fast, or I could leave it at default, which is currently splitting them up, or prioritize research, which would bump my research to 55 instead of 40 right now. There's a lot of things you can do with them. Whoop, I'm gonna reset it to default. I'm not really sure what I want this city to do. I think growth is actually a pretty good choice right now. The next sector that I'm planning on getting for my capital is going to be this one, so I'd like to make sure I have enough influence to buy that by the time it grows to 8, which I think I will. So I think what I might do is prioritize growth for the moment. Let's see how that affects the production of the research exploitation, which is something that I'm going to want as fast as possible. So if I bump that up, I still get the research exploitation in 2 turns. It cuts down current active research by a little bit, but I think right now growth is probably ideal for my starter city. So I don't think that's a bad choice. I'll leave it doing that. And then maybe once that research exploitation is done, I'm going to want to put a couple people back onto research. And I'll talk about exploitations too a bit in this episode, because that was kind of requested as well. Boru I'll get to that in a second. I skipped Wolfgang Mate and also Vasily Nikulin. Sinister Chorus is a great fit for melee builds like Ronald, and that's an ability that I kind of skipped right over in the last episode. So Sinister Chorus is here. It's a Syndicate Leader ability. It gives non-mindless enemy units adjacent to the unit Sinister Medley, which reduces their damage resistance by 2 and their accuracy by 20%. Basically makes them weaker and makes it harder for them to hit stuff. That is perfect for a melee build like Ronald McDarkside, so I should definitely be using that. The reason I didn't pick it last time is because for some reason I was thinking it was ability you had to activate, but it's actually passive. It's just always active. So I would have gotten that earlier than now if I had realized that. So I will definitely pick that up the next time Ronald levels up. I'll cancel and close that for now. I don't think I'm going to get Deadeye for Ronald just yet. I might pick that up later, after I see what his default accuracy is. Tiger Eye 085. Suggested improving operational efficiency as soon as possible. I also think that's a good choice. I'm going to get research development first, but then we'll probably go right into operational efficiency. He pointed out, and it's not a huge deal just yet because I haven't even met any computers yet, but the computers tend to target whoever the easiest target is. So if your operational efficiency is really low, that makes you really vulnerable to espionage attacks, and I don't want that. So I'll probably try to get those earlier rather than later, at least so I'm prepared when I do meet a computer. Maybe I could do some spying myself, so I'll try to keep that in the back of my head. From Boru Pogobog and Nate Beast 9, Overseer's Cerebral Override. Let's talk about that for a second. So the Cerebral Override on the Overseer here is extremely useful because not only does it give the unit back all their action points so that like the indentured unit can keep shooting, but it also makes the indentured unit not only have stagger immunity for 1 turn, but it also can't be killed for 1 turn. Now, I don't know for sure exactly what happens because it does damage the unit by 5 psionic damage. So I kind of wonder what happens if you use it on an indentured that has 5 or less health. Would the indentured die, or would it with the immunity trigger first, thus keeping it alive. I don't really know. If any of you do know, let me know. I don't think that's something I want to test on camera because I don't want to throw away an indentured unit if I don't have to. So I'll pose that question to the audience here. But nevertheless, that can actually be really useful because if the indentured, I would say, for my uses, for what I'm going to do now, if he has at least 6 health, I can keep him alive by using that, and then nothing can kill him for a turn. So like if one's really vulnerable, using that on them actually might save them if I think I can wrap the battle up before the end of the next turn. So good call out there. I need to think about that skill a little differently. And finally, Joasos requested information about sectors. So, well, I might actually do a video on this at some point, but let me go ahead and explain this briefly here. So I was looking this up before the episode because I wanted to try to do this in the clearest way possible. I know sectors and sector exploitations specifically is what Josos is asking about, can be a little confusing. So zoom out to the strategic map and you can see that every sector in the game, except for like mountains, which are basically useless unless you're Devar and can like turn them into a usable sector or remove them or whatever. But every other sector in the game has these icons on it: food, energy, research. Let's talk about, here's a good example. Let's talk about this one right here. This sector, Banjo Peaks. So as you can see, the sector has 1 food, 1 energy, 2 production, and 1 research. So looking at this initially, you'd think, you know, maybe you could get a decent sector exploitation for any of these. That is technically true, but the way sector exploitations work is it's focused on the terrain and the climate. So that extra food that you're seeing right there is actually coming from the river in this sector. So you can actually more or less ignore that because rivers don't increase the exploitation level. So let's talk about the exploitation level for a second and explain that. Every time you build an exploitation in a sector, so you've got like, say this sector where I built the research exploitation in, you can build 2 levels of any exploitation in any sector, and that comes from these. You can build 3 levels in any sector, because right now I don't even have research development, research sector 1 upgrade. This is an upgrade that I'm going to be able to get to a sector exploitation. But the initial exploitation that I'm building, which I'm currently building a research exploitation right now in this Frosty Fields, right? So that's going to give me a research exploitation level 1 in this sector, all right? So what I can do is get research exploitation levels 2 and 3, sorry, I keep clicking on the wrong thing, from this first improvement, that Roman numeral 1, and this second one, Roman numeral 2. So when you take those, plus the initial exploitation that I'm building right now, I get 3 from that. Now, you want to get to a research exploitation level 5 if you can, and what that does is it gives benefits, higher levels of benefits to colonists working in that city for that particular type of exploitation. So like, once I have a high research exploitation level here, I'm going to want lots of colonists working on the research in that city because they'll get better benefits from it. The goal is to get to an exploitation level of 5 if you can. So I already know I can get to 3 with any sector anywhere. At least on land for sure, and I think in the water too. You can get to 3 just because of the initial sector exploitation plus, plus Roman numerals 1 and 2, so that gets you to 3. But the terrain and climate is where the next levels come in. So if you have, the reason that this is showing 2 research already, like you can see the 2 research icons there, is because the terrain and climate both can also be used to increase research exploitation levels. And as you can see there, this is ruins and Arctic. So let's go back into this menu for a little bit. These are a little harder to spot, but later on in the tech tree, you've got the terrain exploitations in this layer here, and the climate exploitations in this layer over here. So terrain exploitations, let's look at, it's a ruins, right? So let's look at this says ruins sector level. Gives +1 level to all research and energy sectors in ruins. So that gives me +1 research exploitation level because it's ruins. let's scroll down here to the climate. So the climate is Arctic. Gives +1 level to all production and research sectors in an Arctic climate. So the certain types of terrains and climates get extra layers of sector benefits or of exploitation benefits for specific types of exploitations. It just so happens that the Arctic climate and the ruins terrain give you each the option or the ability to get another sector exploitation level on top of that. So when you add those two on top of the 3 that I can already get as explained earlier, that's how you get to a sector exploitation of level 5. I hope that makes sense. If it doesn't, let me know, and I might devote an entire video to this in the future. That's kind of maybe an abbreviated look at it, or maybe not so abbreviated. I've been actually just talking. I haven't even played for a while here. I hope you guys don't mind that. I'm trying to sort of explain things as I go, and there's a lot to explain because the game is relatively new, but I hope that makes sense to you. So if it doesn't, let me know, and I'll see what I can do to explain better in the future. But that's all the comments. I know that was a lengthy comment section, but let's go ahead and carry on to the next turn so I can actually get some gameplay going here, because it is a Let's Play, so should probably be doing that. All right, so we got these guys rushing my capital. I don't think that's going to be allowed. I don't want them messing up my stuff. I was going to go after this, but, well, actually, before I do anything, I already know that I'm going to put a city here. So let's do that. Found that syndicate colony. Get my second city up and running. And then probably chase these guys down. And then I'll come back and go after that. I don't want to let them through. The city is not really protected right now with military research upgrades. I don't think I've even got the standard military infrastructure upgrade. So yeah, let's play it safe. Take care of these guys with Ronald's army. Hopefully give me an idea to, well, I think they'll probably do more damage than they heal. Let's look at their mods real quick. So melee attacks bypass 3, armor, that's not really a huge deal. The 10% increased damage on all abilities kind of sucks. This is also not the best mod for these units, but it's more of like a line of sight, sensor range, strategic map buff. I'm looking specifically for stagger resistance. So the Vanguard have stagger resistance. That's worth noting. And these guys also have stagger resistance and detection. All right. So the Vanguard and the Foreman have stagger resistance here. Let's move Ronald in because he can move further. And it's a low risk battle. We'll do manual combat. I'm gonna have to be careful with this one because my units are already a bit damaged. And those. Okay, who's just got motivated? That's not great. It would have actually probably been the Foreman motivating one of the trenchers. What does that do? 400 morale, more likely to crit. Okay, so he probably needs to go first. Let's start off by healing Ronald, I think. Yeah. Okay, let's start off first by getting into good cover. These trees and bushes aren't really ideal. I'm gonna move everyone. You know what? I've got time to move around and maneuver because the enemies don't charge you as often in this game as they did in the original Age of Wonders. At least not unless you start shooting at them from like a range or something. So let me kind of move everybody into a bit safer position, I think is what I'm gonna do. I am gonna go ahead and heal Ronald. I want to goad them into attacking me, but I also want to make sure that I'm in a good spot. That motivated, does that wear off? And can the Foreman use it again? Motivate, where is that? Incentivize. He can use it again, so he's just going to motivate the other guy. So I don't want to take too long setting this up. Let's, I would like to kill the Foreman earlier. I don't know if I'm going to be able to. I don't want those guys critting because their spike guns are so dang powerful. If they crit, they're guaranteed to get a full hit with it plus bonus damage. That can really mess me up. What kind of operations do I have? I do have Embrace of Darkness, which I may use in this battle. I don't think I'm going to use Diversion Projector because if they have critical hit bonus and it triggers a critical hit because of their higher morale, it's not going to matter if they're blinded. They're still going to do full damage from max range. So let's see what kind of damage Embrace Darkness can do. It can at least stagger them. Maybe I want to Embrace Darkness on the Foreman. I don't know. Alright. The problem with staggering these guys is that they only need one action point to use the spike gun, so staggering them doesn't really help either. There's not a lot of good options. Alright, what's this guy's range? Let's get him facing the right direction and go ahead and load a breach round. And then I'm gonna position everybody else maybe like kind of here. Again, cover may not matter that much, but it'll hopefully matter at least a little bit. I'm gonna put them on Overwatch just to be safe in case they charge me. I don't think they will though. I've only got 2 operation points, so I can do that twice. Alright, they did not do anything, so I can try to hit this guy from here. It's a long-range shot, and he's in cover. I don't necessarily want to waste my breach round, but I could also take a shot at the... Maybe I'll take a shot at the Vanguard, because he's at a more ideal distance. Alright, I'll do that. Or he had a more ideal likelihood of hitting him. I could also move these guys up here. No, they wouldn't be able to... Well, actually, maybe they could. Yeah, they would have a reasonable chance to hit the Vanguard, not the best. What I might do is just take him out of the equation now with Embrace Darkness. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. Get him out of the equation now.
Enemy destroyed.
And then I can kind of set up a defense. And just, I'm going to have to kind of hope for the best, at least on this first round of attacks against these guys. So, let's, back to movement. I could always cerebral override these guys too, make them invincible for 1 turn. No, I'll use that later. For now, I think I'm just gonna go into cover. Put everybody into cover, and you know what? These guys would be better off if I moved them forward just a bit into cover here. And those guys there. The Devar may still try to get close to increase their odds of hitting me with the spike gun, even though I'm not sure if the motivated ones are going to really have to. But and then I'm going to put Ronald up here because he can actually tank hits from all that stuff. So maybe I can lure them into attacking him. And actually, I'm going to leave this guy back a little bit further in behind. Actually, maybe even a little further than that. Because if they think they can kill him, they might go for him. He's pretty much here for cerebral override. I think that's okay. Alright, he motivated the other one. He didn't crit, so that's nice. No crits, okay, good. Sniper has a decent chance of hitting that guy. I think I might try to kill him with this indentured. Ronald probably needs to get out there and get in the face of these guys. Gotta be careful with these battles. Alright, so what I'm gonna do is try to kill this guy here. I can get a little bit better angle with the sniper. He's in cover, which kind of sucks, but the sniper can get a little better angle from here. Nope, it's the same odds of success. Yeah, he's in cover. It doesn't really matter what I do. He's gonna be hard to kill. All right, I'm like 90% sure I'm gonna use Cerebral Override on those guys. I'm just trying to get them into the best position that they can be to do as much damage as possible. All right, let's see what kind of damage I'm able to do with this guy. Okay, good. I did full damage. It's a 55% chance. I'm gonna trust to luck on this one, or trust the math on it. All right, so we're gonna Cerebral Override this guy. Damages him a little bit, but again, he is now immune to death for a turn, which is very nice. And has 60 anti-crit anyway. All right, cool. I'll take it. I'll take it. That is fine. Having that extra accuracy mod on these guys is really, really nice. I'm going to move them up to give them a better chance of hitting. These guys I'm going to leave here because they can shoot twice from here, and I'll take those odds. Okay, good. Full damage. Maybe I can kill this other guy here. His odds aren't even that much better. If I move him closer, I could do the more powerful attack. I don't think I'm going to do that. Okay, unfortunately missed on that one. Ronald is going to get aggressive, I think. So one nice thing, even though I've staggered them, if they move, they're going to take another hit. Unless these guys have a way of... Oh, they do have the hand mortar, so they could stagger Ronald, which would lower his guard. I might play it safe and just blow the other guy away with Embrace Darkness. Maybe just kill him. I don't want to use stuff if I don't have to, because it does cost energy to use these abilities. So let's take a worst case scenario. This guy staggers Ronald, thus allowing him to move and critical hit somebody. Could he kill anyone? I think it's unlikely. Because he can't kill that guy. He might be able to kill the Overseer if he crit him. Overseer's only got 28 health. You know what? I'm just not going to take chances. I'm just going to play it safe.
Enemy down.
Alright. Oh, wait. I didn't need to do that. I forgot Ronald has the boots. He had stagger resistance anyway. So that guy was just not going to be able to move. Oh well. I wasted some energy, but still better to play it safe than sorry. Alright, now everybody else can move in to finish this guy off. See, after the last episode, I'm now operating with kind of like an abundance of caution when I might not really need to be. But...
The Syndicate rules supreme.
But that is how it is. So, this battle, nobody died, so I am happy with that. And we'll have my action points or my operation stuff ready for the next battle, which is going to be a bit tougher. I need healing for these guys, kind of bad.
Open their...
Alright, so Foreboding Darkness is done. I would like to get that static build-up module. That's really nice for my indentured guys, so I think I may go for that next. Mantra of Clarity is a nice one for my Overseers, but this would benefit more units overall, so I'm going to start researching some of the electrical technologies. New quest from Scyfish. Oh, 2 quests right next to each other out there. Okay. I might need to send some units out that way. Speaking of units, I'm probably going to need to build some. I know I am kind of fast-tracking growth in this city right now. But we'll see. I want to get this before I big a lot of units in my capital, because it's still Rainbow Pill Vial Farms. It'd still be very nice because the extra health it would grant my units. Also, I realized that I probably want to get production development too, because then I can get the Military Engineering Guild, which is going to give... Well, actually, it takes a little while. Skirmisher and specialist units produced in the colony have +1 armor. That is actually going to take me a little longer to get, because I have to get to a production or exploitation level 3 before that really does me any good. So maybe that's not worth waiting on, but I do want to get this. Alright, and we've got this other nutrition center structure down here. Let's have a look around in this area. That's growth sitting on it. Okay. Let's have a look around here and see what kind of other sectors we've got in the area. Now, with how fast my capital's growing, this guy probably needs to head back in this direction, because I'm gonna need somebody to be like picking up settlers for my my capital city here. So let me see. I don't want this guy to get picked off, and hostile units are now starting to spawn. What have we got here? I'll probably grab this energy stash and then head back. I think I should still have enough time to do that.
Happiness event in colony.
I like how he said happiness event, like he's the super evil guy, you know. And it's just happiness event. I don't know. It strikes me as being oddly, ironically funny. All right, that's it for this turn. All right, so hopefully these guys have enough health to really do anything about this. Oh man, there's a tier 3 in there. Or no, that's a tier 2. I thought that was the, oh, never mind. The little icon I mistook for the Syndicate guy who sits on the floating chair. That is a Syndicate Sentinel. That is also a tier 2. And a couple tier 1s, but none of them are modded though, which makes things a bit easier. Did Ronald level up? No, he still only got those 2 skill points. Got my new city here too, which is nice. Already potentially under attack by those nerds. I might want to build, I may want to fast track some standard military infrastructure. Could they reach, they could reach that city on this turn. I don't like that. I don't want to have to fast track something right off the bat. How much is that going to cost me? I don't even have enough energy to do that. I might lose that city right away unless I move Ronald's army back in there, but I want Ronald's army to go down here and attack these guys while they don't have mods. Granted, my units are a bit damaged, but let's see. Are any of them? That one's actually resistant to arc weaponry. That guy's a tier 2. This is still not an entirely easy battle. I don't know what the right call is here, because I need to get rid of this before it spawns even more units that could harass me. You know what? If I lose the city, I'll get it right back, because Ronald can run up there and take it. So I think I'm going to try to kill these guys while they are vulnerable. Also, in this city, let's look at colony. Okay, so it's got 1 on growth. That's fine. I was probably going to... I'm not sure what I was going to do. I might annex this sector first to help boost growth. This one here is going to be research. Alright. I'm going to do this, but I'm going to get the Stadium Arcadium bonus, so my units are a bit happier, and then I can still attack with Ronald, and then start moving everyone back up to my other city. A low-risk battle, and I do have my tactical operations, so I'll go for it. They're up on a hill too. That kind of sucks, but largely close range units, so yeah, shotguns and melee. Plus this guy who's got pulse lance, but alright. He is actually, this guy might have an arc weakness now that I think of it. He looks like a robot. Yeah, he's got an arc weakness, so I may be able to take advantage of that. Alright, I want Ronald to move forward. I don't know for sure. I think this is actually probably the best angle of attack because I do have cover down here. Let's move Ronald forward a bit. The sniper's going to be what I use to goad them into attacking me as usual, so let's... I think I might start taking pot shots at... Well, I should probably start taking pot shots at the Sentinel with the sniper because he's got an electrified sniper. So what kind of... How close do I need to be to make that happen? What tile is he on exactly? I need to go like 3 more tiles this way. That's a closer range shot. Flood those breach rounds now. This guy I will move over here and put on Overwatch. And I will probably just put a couple other Initiate on Overwatch down there. I'm going to go ahead and heal him now. And let's just set up a bunch of Overwatch. Just in case they decide to come rushing out after me.
Operations ready.
Okay, he moved a little closer, which is helpful. I think he may have actually moved in range of my sniper, which, yeah, he did. Definitely going to try to take advantage of that. That's a tier 2, right? So what I might do is shoot it. Come on. Please hit. Okay, excellent. All right. And it may use Embrace Darkness to finish it off. That will not finish it off. Okay. So then it may fall to these guys. He's got to move 2 spaces closer to be able to hit anything. So what I can do is set up Overwatch with these guys over here. Like that. And move this guy forward just a bit and do Overwatch like this. And that should cover him. Well, actually, I think he could still shoot things. That's okay. I don't expect him to do a ton of damage. I'm gonna save my operations for now and end the turn. Got half a mind to move Ronald forward. But we'll wait and see what they do. Hopefully they make a mistake. Oh, what was that? Oh, that was his other ability. Okay, well, crap, he just staggered everybody. Okay, at least they didn't kill anything, so... Alright, now is when I probably need... Alright. Ah, crap, he got staggered. Can he still... Nope. Alright, whatever that thing just did... Yep, heavy pulse cannon. Crap, I didn't even think about that. Alright. These guys are melee only. So Overwatch on them would probably be sufficient. Who's the top threat? I could kill her with just that. I could kill that thing with just this. I probably want to stagger this guy if I can. Because that would make killing him a lot easier, because right now he's got his shields up. The only unit that can stagger him would be Ronald, and Ronald's been staggered, so he's a bit slow at the moment. I think Ronald may go over here and punch her to death. I think that's what I'm gonna do.
Enemy down.
Cool. So that takes care of her. I think what I'm gonna do is, because this thing is weak to arc, so I can just shoot that with my guys, and it's melee only, so it's got to get close to do anything. Hopefully Ronald is okay there. He's still got 57 health and stagger resistance, so he should be fine. I think I'm going to use Embrace Darkness on him just to stagger him. That'll lower his shields, which will give me some more options. All right, so these guys being the weakest are probably the ones I'm going to use Cerebral Override on, because they're the most vulnerable to dying. I feel pretty confident shooting him with these guys. And he can finish off. He could actually finish them off, and then I think these guys could. No, they can't quite kill that by themselves. Alright, do I want to Cerebral Override something, or do I want these guys to just assist with killing other stuff? I don't really want to shoot him with arc weaponry because he's going to resist a lot of it. And I would like to get that guy out of the picture if I can. Maybe this is the unit I want to be more aggressive with, to run out and take some shots at that thing. Okay, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to Cerebral Override this guy. Then he can... Oh, crap, I screwed up. I didn't attack first with him. Ah, dang it. Alright, well that means I'm going to use him to kill him.
Enemy down.
He can't die on this turn, so... Dang it. I was going to use him to shotgun the first guy with Arc Power Blast and then shoot this thing, but now I can't do that. Let's see if I can kill that thing. What is your odds of hitting it? So they can probably kill that. I might need to back these guys off, and he's gonna go blow up somewhere, which is annoying. Because that's high impact. It's not massive, so it actually won't affect Ronald that much. And I don't think he can reach any of the weaker units. Okay, so I will take that guy out.
Enemy eliminated.
And he can't die on this turn, so I could go for the flanks and try to kill him, but I don't think I would be successful with only a 50% chance, so it's probably safer to back this initiate off. And leave him back there behind cover. Probably on defense. Don't want any surprises. Okay, I think that's it. Oh crap, I forgot to do that.
Serves them right.
Okay, but I think I'm good here. Ronald needs to get into melee range of that guy, so I want to get this little bugger off of him. Yep, I got plenty of options here now. Alright, so anybody can shoot him. Probably will be these guys.
Serves
Ronald
them
can just
right.
move here. Punch him
Our
a bunch.
forces
Alright,
are
cool.
victorious.
So I screwed up in that one, but I still managed to get through it without losing anybody. Regenerative dermal patches. That's nice. I think Ronald can use that. Yeah, it's a free mod, so why not? He can kind of keep himself patched up, and then I can move everyone back towards that city, which I'm probably going to need to retake on the next turn. At least it's nice having those pirates out of there, because they could have been an issue spawning units right behind my lines. So, alright, I got this guy down here. Let's continue exploring. That has stuff on top of it that I don't want to fight, but it's not outright hostile to me, at least not right now. So, but that crap is. Okay. What is that? Oh, an ion storm? Okay. Nothing useful there. Alright, let's play it safe, and that is water, right? Okay, stay in the water. And then these guys need to... I want to see what's in this Feldspar Peaks. But aside from that, they're going to head back home. Because that city's already at 5. It'll probably grow to 6 on the next turn. Yeah, that city is growing very, very fast. So I need to get them back to those biofarms in range to help the city grow as soon as possible. Nothing special about this sector, aside from the fact it'd be a decent production exploitation. Speaking of exploitations, what I was talking about earlier, it's important to note the little food icon you get from the river. That does not increase exploitation level. As you can see from, where is it? It's confusing because it looks like it should if you just look at the icons, but you have to understand the extra food you get from a river or the extra energy you get from a lava river actually does not increase exploitation level. It just gives you a flat bonus of 10 food or 10 energy. Here it is, environmental conditioning. So the river exploitation gives you a flat plus 10 food income. That is different than an extra sector exploitation level, and it's not really as powerful in my opinion. But it is helpful. It's just not something you really need to factor in when choosing what exploitation to build on that sector. All right, I got my research exploitation done. I think I'm going to leave it on food growth though. That seems to be probably a good choice for now. There's not a lot of other things I really need to build here. So let's see, we got food, we got a colonist working on energy. I guess that's, actually I would prefer to have, can I like manually do this? I want all of them on food. Okay, oh yeah, that's how you do it. I want all of them on food and 1 on research, because I do get extra bonuses from research. So let's go do let's get the standard military infrastructure in place just so I have some sort of a defense in my colony. And out here, this is going to be another growth city, I think, primarily. I might actually use this city to export food to other cities because I can get some pretty good agricultural growth in it, food growth. So I think I'll just do another central biofarm over here. And I usually follow that up with a recreation dome because happiness is useful. All right, I got the economist, which means I get a doctrine, my first one.
Operations available.
I can
for
activate
priming.
that for 100. And colony structures require less production to build. I don't really think that's even worth 100 energy right now, though. I only have 1 available slot. And I don't think I'm gonna spend 100 energy on that. Yeah, sure, I could build colony structures, which would be like these things a little bit faster, but it'd only be 20% faster. I want my money right now. Because I'm only making 34 per turn, so I need to be mindful of how I'm spending it. Alright, that's what I thought. We'll try to take out one of these guys, and we'll just have to get the city back on the next turn. I mean, I can use operations to help. I don't know if it will matter. These guys have mods too. But let's just set up some Overwatch and see what they've got. Static build-up modules, arc impact. Oh, that's a good one. That's gonna suck. Alright, well, we'll just do what we can. Normally in these situations, I just try to kill one guy. Just one less unit for the next army to deal with. But for now, I'll leave everyone in Overwatch and let them come to me. They're very good at staying just out of range of Overwatch. I will not be duped. They will come to me. Already killed a unit. So let me get rid of this guy, I think.
Enemy eliminated. get lost.
Now these guys... Okay, they came back. So I can flank it. Can I kill it with Embrace Darkness? Nope. Alright, we'll just end the turn, end the battle.
This was an expensive waste.
It really wasn't an expensive waste. It's fine. It's fine. I'll be taking my city back now. Thanks. The units are pretty beat up. Ronald is actually going to go in by himself because everyone else can make it onto that mountain tile this turn. I like that extra movement he's got. Oh, I've never actually read the little text on this, so... But I have time, so you have like 8 turns to get it back. Let us end this tragedy. Okay. Yeah, you guys go ahead and set up in whatever formation you want. I've got a sniper, and there's a very good reason I chose to have one. This guy is one of the most important units in the army. Alright, patch up the almost dead guy. Everybody else cautiously move forward.
Operations available.
For whatever reason, they've decided to come down from the walls, which is fine with me. Alright, that's as good of a setup as I'm going to get for now. I have another operation now. Oh, arc discharge, right. That's a good one. Alright, they're not going to move, so I will go ahead and take a shot at him, I guess. Poke him. Staggers him a little bit. I'm going to leave everyone else in Overwatch, so when he gets cranky and comes charging at me like an idiot, he pays for it. Ronald should probably stay here. I don't want to give them a free shot at anybody. Oh, hey. Thought he'd be in Overwatch range there. Alright. Well, they got a free shot at somebody, just like I said I didn't want to do. I would like to do this without having to use any tactical operations, if that's possible. Good
Enemy
crit,
destroyed.
very nice. Alright, I like that. Oh, Ronald should probably use this. Oh, that's a free action, too. Oh, that's really nice. Ah, I like that. Okay. Unfortunately, that guy has Overwatch, so we need to do something about that. I think I'm going to prioritize staggering and killing him. Ronald can run in and might be able to arc bolus that thing to keep it from moving. Okay, they can't even try to shotgun that guy, and they can't move, so I don't need to worry about anyone dying here as long as I can kill this other dude.
Enemy
I most definitely
annihilated.
can. Alright. Alright, so I should be safe here. Yep, let's just go after Ronald. Ronald can go punch stuff, as he likes to do. So, by the way, that's a 90% chance that he's getting on those melee attacks. So Deadeye would increase that to 95, which is actually pretty good. I mean, all things considered, it's probably worth it. We'll see if Ronald levels up after this battle. He may level up anyway, but if he doesn't, I'll probably go ahead and give him Deadeye. At least the first level of it. Theoretically, 2 levels would get him to 100% melee chance, and then I wouldn't have to worry about getting unlucky. So that might be what you kind of want to go for with a melee build. I'm not really sure. Nobody else can do anything. I can't do any more healing. There's not really as much like healing micromanagement in this game as there was in Age of Wonders 3, which I think is actually kind of a good thing. But yeah, alright, got that done. And did anyone level up? Ronald did level up. Alright, good. So I'm gonna get him Sinister Chorus. And what else can he get? Oh, he could get Escape Module too. I like that. I think I'll get that instead. Counterattack is also a good one. Melee Overwatch can no longer be cancelled by Stagger and will never miss. Maybe that's a better fit for Ronald. Then I could get Escape Module and Deadeye the next time around. I think that one is perfect for a melee character, so we'll get that. Okay, so city back under my control. Let's get that production restarted. The Central Biofarm and Recreation Dome. And then carry on over here. Unfortunately, that crap is all in this Veil of Tranquility. Annexing the sector grants +8 to the colony. Wait. Non-mechanical, non-sun number units regain an additional 10 health per strategic turn. This looks like it's mostly buffs. Every combat turn, units afflicted with soul burn take more damage, and lightened units are healed for 10. Ah, well it says it's a hazard, but this is actually kind of more of a buff. Okay. So maybe I don't need to be scared about that, as long as there's no enlightened units in here, which it doesn't appear that there are. I don't see any Celestian stuff in there. So I guess it's okay to go over there and do those quests. Unfortunately, the quest I really want to do for the growth is way over here. I don't know if I'll have time to get back to that, but it's 2 quests that I can do over there, one of which is for the Psyfish, which are probably the best ally that I could get. Alright, I'll do more growth stuff later, but I think doing 2 quests is probably better than 1 at this stage of the game. So I'll move you guys here, have Ronald link back up. Maybe I can find out what's spawning units over here too, that could be helpful. Magnetic energy storage, static buildup module is done. I want to try to get the Arc Impact module. That's a very, very useful military upgrade, but I can get Mantra of Clarity a lot earlier, and that's nice to have on your Overseer, so I'll probably just spend a couple turns to pick that up. I won't mod any units with static buildup module yet. I don't really even have the Cosmite to do that, but I'll try to save up some so I can get the electric weapon stun mod as soon as I can. And then I think I'm gonna, I think it was Tiger Eye's advice, I think I'm gonna take that and start getting some operational effectiveness stuff, which begins with area surveillance.
In conclusion.
Alright, and I can make the first research sector exploitation upgrade, so I'm gonna grab that right away. How am I doing with colonists here? Keep that set to manual and prioritize research for the time being. Research and growth. That's pretty much what that city's here for at the moment. How's growth doing? It's growing probably another 2 turns. Okay, I'm doing really good on growth there. Having all those people working on that helps. Where's my scout guy here? All right, so you need to keep heading back. And ideally get to here as soon as possible. Oh good, another growth quest. Now they're both in the same area. Now I really want to go back over there and do those. I'll have to reevaluate that on maybe the next turn. Or actually, maybe I could let you guys evaluate that. This episode's probably... It's been going for a little while. I think we can probably wrap this up soon. Oh, there's Cosmite over there, too. Free Cosmite and Energy right next to each other. I just need a... You know what? I think that's what the runner's going to do after he's done getting Rainbow Pill Biofarms. Run out there and grab that stuff. All right.
Operations available for priming.
Still not going to worry about Builder. I'm going to save my energy. Other people are completing Emissary, but not me yet, unfortunately. And scout a little more with this guy. And then wrap this episode up, I think. I don't really want him to get picked off by anything, so I'll leave him on the mountains for now. It looks like there's another player over there. I don't know if I'm really ready to meet another player yet, so I'm just gonna like try to fly solo for as long as I can without irritating anyone too much. What is this? What do we have here? Looks like an assembly settlement. Okay. If I want another city in this area, I probably need to get it down there soon because they'll probably expand in this direction. I have to find a good spot to build it. I'm not sure where I want to do that. There's a lot of good production places down there. Might be a good city to build units in. I'll have to examine that a little bit and see. But I want my research exploitation upgrade first. Alright, and that is the end of my turn and probably the end of this episode, so I hope you guys have enjoyed this one. I know it was kind of a lengthy comment section at the beginning, but there's so much information to put out there for this game with it being relatively new that I wanted to make sure I'm getting this stuff right. So, hope you guys don't mind, but thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it, and I'll see you in the next one.